Okay, now I did notice I was on mute. It just took a moment of me taking the tard out of the out of the moment. Just take the tard out, put the brains back in. There we go, and we're off and we're doing well. I'll even do it again just because I let you guys down. The mute button kicked on by its own. I'm totally ignoring it. What do you do with that? You know what I mean? I probably lost viewers. Can you blame them? No. I mean, I would be suspect, sus, as our kids today say, if I were to do that. And yes, I was enjoying myself, okay, while you guys saw me doing that in silence, okay, and some people say, well, look, at least he's enjoying himself. I was. Gold medal. First placed, Mike Henderson. Mike, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Always there for R8RBEAR. Second place, Carlos Megana Jr. I gotta add that now. I like that. What's up, Carlos? Welcome to the show, my political bro. I said the P word. I apologize. There is no politics on this show unless it involves football politics. Sorry. I felt all this heat. Third place, my bronze medal goes to Jim Garrison. Jim G, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Don't confuse that with Jimmy Garoppolo. Not Jimmy Garoppolo. Not Jimmy G. Jim G. Like a G. I like that. Jim G. No relation to Garoppolo. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Appreciate you tuning in. And I have what I feel like is a pretty good show for you guys. I think we're going to have a good time. I'm going to actually read these. No sound. No sound. No sound. Who else did it? No sound. Mama Bear, please help him. What's up, dog? Troy Gill, what's happening with the Raiders and the new news about them? I love Troy Gill. He doesn't care if I have volume or not. I could be muted, and he still wants the new news of the day about the Raiders. Right now, Bear. I love that guy. Tim Newport, no sound. Sorry, Tim. I'm going to get right to I'm going to give you guys a promise. My show is going to get extra better. Is that a word? Because of this mute moment. I promise. I'm going to get on that for you guys. Craig Gilmore, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. No sound. No sound. Daniel Hebenstreich. My favorite German name ever. Daniel, I even drew a comment out of Daniel. You don't understand how hard that is. Daniel Hebenstreich likes to sit back and chill with a beer and the fam. He's a down to earth kind of guy. Not like me. I'm loud all the time. Where's Mama Bear? What's up, Chris Strong? Welcome to the show. Bear, I know when you said my name because I know sign language. No, I gave you the signal. Come on. That gave it away. Tramel Henson, what's up? Yeah, what's that? No sign language, John Leon. Okay, I'm trying to get past. Where did I pick you guys up? Okay. You look like you're having a good time talking to yourself. Do we need to call you a shriek? Okay, Joe, that's way too comfortable a humor level with me and with us only having 3 shows in. Okay, we're not that tight yet. Take me to dinner, dude. Jesus. Travis Scott McNeil, I was thinking my speakers were broken. Oh, finally, football. Jeez. Mark Vargas says, Devin White, what do you think? Okay, the Devin White move is like a lot of the other moves that Raider Nation's upset about. They feel like we should have got Devin White 4 years ago. You know what I mean? And now maybe the best of Devin White's career is behind him. But the reason I disagree with that is because of the way this defense is built. For example, if I said to you, I need you to go out there and pitch, okay, we're going to play a little baseball, and you say, well, I can pitch, but I only pitched at like the high school level. I don't know about Major League Baseball. and your coach and your teammates tell you, bro, we're the best defense in the league statistically, and anything that gets popped in the air, we have 3 guys in the outfield that are going to run it down every time. So don't worry about them hitting the ball, and that'll allow you to be aggressive with your pitching. Go at them. You know what I mean? See, to me, I want players that have that kind of confidence, that say to them, no, look, everything is built in place. When you do your job, be aggressive, because your brothers in arms got your back. And, you know, we've all been kind of whispering back and forth, the Legion of Boom, the Legion of Boom. But he really is doing that. If you look closely now, we have a template now to look at. If you look closely now at what Pete Carroll's been doing, you can see the template building itself, okay? Who was the enforcer on the Legion of Doom, okay? Cam Chancellor, hard-hitting, big safety. Who did we sign recently? We signed Jeremy Chin from the Washington Commanders. A physical. Guys, I am willing to go out on a limb and say the word Ronnie Lott. Now, I want to be clear. He is not as good as Ronnie Lott. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he plays a lot like him. Very physical, understands angles, plays players and the ball in the air. He's aggressive. And I mean, every play, when he makes a tackle, they feel him. There is no little push. There is no just make sure he stays on one knee. Jeremy Chin, a hitter. Now, you take that hitter and you take the linebacker that we just got, Landon Roberts. You pair those two, okay, in the middle, right there, you're going to have issues with our defense. Then we bring back Adam Butler, okay? We bring back John Jenkins. Of course, we re-up Max Crosby. We pay Malcolm Kuntz, so he's fed, but ready to play hungry and earn his money, because he knows he left money on the table to prove it. And now it's going to force us next season, if we have the season I think we're going to, for us to pay him again. But this time he's going to get the lottery. But then he'll deserve it if he can get Max loose. For example, there's going to be times where Kuntz might get double teamed just because he's getting off the ball real well one game. He's beating their left corner, or their left tackle, real bad. Not quite getting a sack yet, but, you know, real close, putting on pressures, forcing the quarterback to step up in the pocket, and Max hits him, bam. Steps up in the pocket, Max gets a sack, bam. If he's doing that, it's going to show on video. Now, if that carries over into him sometimes making plays, we don't need him to make plays, every down or, quarter. We just need him to be aggressive. If Malcolm Kuntz just finishes with 9 to 10 sacks, he's going to get another contract. He's got to get double figures, because he finished with 8 or 9 last year, and that was in, 6 games? So that projects to a lot more sacks. So I can see the logic with bringing him back. But now he's got to live up to it, and I'm hoping he can do it. But do you see what they're doing? And I mean, obviously, I think it's Pete Carroll. I don't care who the defensive coordinator is or the general manager. He is rebuilding this team in that image. Guys, I'm liking what I'm seeing. We re-signed Isaiah Polamau, who turned out to be what last year? Tackles went up, hitter, smart, young, fast, aggressive. Now next to Jeremy Chin. It might be the chin checkers, because they're going to be checking chins all season. You tough enough? Bam! You tough enough? Bam! I mean, guys, I like what I'm seeing. And for the first time in a long time, instead of it being at mid-year because of a trade or because we got lucky in free agency or the draft, no, this is a building of blocks that win now. He has hit the most important points on the team that you can hit. Where is a team built best? The offense and the defensive line. He brings in Alex Kappa, shores up that guard position, can play a little bit of right tackle, right? I love that. He brought in 2 other free agents. to come in and battle for those positions on the line. Guys, I mean, he brought back Zach Carter on the defensive line. I love that. We quietly signed Blake Lynch to the practice squad recently. I think he's going to bring some depth because I think he can play. And then don't forget about Tommy Eichenberg sitting there, growing, getting bigger, getting told, hey, if you want a chance, if you want a job, you better go get it now. You know what I mean? I love the corner that we brought in. What was his name? I had it right here. Eric Stokes. I love the addition of Eric Stokes. I love the addition of Darnay Holmes. Experienced guy, great tackler. He had 14 solo on his own last year. I really like him. He had a sack and 2 tackles for a loss. That was Darnay Holmes. So he's not just a corner. He's a darn good corner, but he'll come up and play the run. He's a physical kid, and I think he's going to add something to us. And then again, just sitting on the same attitude, Lecky Fotu, the Raiders signed the defensive tackle. I mean, we're doing this, okay? Now, we think that Michael Mayer, there's something going on with Michael Mayer. I've been trying to find out. I have not been able to find out yet. I'm going to reach out to someone that's a member of the team that I know I can get a message to. So I'm going to send a message out, and I'm going to try on Monday to have the answer for what's going on with Michael Mayer. Because I don't want to guess. You know what I mean? You see a lot of podcasts saying it's this, it's that, blah, blah, blah. But then they don't give you any receipts. There's no proof to substantiate it. The only thing that I've seen that we know is true, that I can report, and we know there's no question about it. Mayer had to leave the team, and it was excused by the team, but it ran longer than the team thought it was going to, and it ran longer than Michael Mayer told the team it was going to. Now, that I can report, but that's not really that big a deal. I mean, it's like he said, I'll be back on, Wednesday, and instead he was back on Friday. I mean, and in fact, I don't even know how many days late he was, if it was hours, I don't know. I just know that he needed an extension, so to speak. The team granted it, no big deal. But then, for some reason, right after he got back from that extended leave, which it was, I mean, he was given a certain amount of time, and the team was cool with it, and then it went further, much further, if I'm not mistaken. I can't say how many, I don't really know for sure. Anyway, long story short, fast forwarding, when he gets back to the team, suddenly you're hearing whispers almost immediately, within a week, that we're shopping him. And they said it, the press said it, the Raiders didn't deny it. I don't know if that's cold or not. To me, that's kind of cold. It's like you're almost saying the guy's a head case and a problem and a nuisance and all of those things without even really saying anything. Because we all know football. We all know how coaches and general managers think. Sometimes the best ability you can show on the football field is availability. And he was struggling with that. Yeah, that's right. You can use that line. He was struggling with that, though, and so they decided to go another direction. But they're doing it because we've signed recently Ian Thomas. Now, Ian Thomas, to be honest with you, if you look at his numbers, he's more of a practice squad guy. But they're excited about him because he shows potential as a receiver. In fact, I think that without going on a limb, I'm pretty sure he was a wide receiver that sort of grew out of the position. You know what I mean? And now he's built a little bit more like a skinny tight end / wide receiver, but he's got size. I can't see his measurables, but I'm guessing he's somewhere in the neighborhood of like 6'6", 6'5". Let me see. I think I have it here if I move quickly here. No, he had 54 starts. He had 119 catches for 1,062 yards. Wow. With the Carolina Panthers. That's not bad. He was a 101st round pick in the 4th round. That's also not bad. Okay. So I'm a little bit more excited about this guy now. I'm pretty positive he's just going to be, a blocking special teams kind of guy at first, but I think they might slide him into a few plays here and there, because remember, they did that for the tight end that we had before, Bryant something or other, that we lost, Anderson, I think it was, and he left, and we did the same thing with him. He was starting to get catches and starting to make plays, 7 or 8 catches over 4 or 5 games. Good, not great, but, good. Okay, let me see. I'll come back to you guys in your comments and questions now. Sorry about that. See if you have any that you really have a question. Let's see, my new guy, Joe, I like. Here we go. I think this might be the 4th or 5th show that's longer than a lot of relationship. Joe, I say this often on my show. I'm supposed to entertain you. Oh, yeah, you're right. We are down near family, brother. Welcome, as always. Arnie Garza said, Bear, what is your trust level after free agency? Arnie, I know I kind of said it already, but I'll add something to this briefly just to answer your question and still give you something new. He is rebuilding a version of the Legion of Doom. I can say that. See, I'm not going to say, oh, it's the Legion of Doom. We can't say that because obviously those guys, it was special, you know what I mean? But we know that because we've already seen it. That doesn't mean that what's happening right now for us can't be special. Because right now, I'm being honest with you, it's starting to look special. It looks like we just stripped the team down to the nuts and bolts and brought in a bunch of guys, but at each position, someone that you're kind of like, that guy got some dog in him. You know, Roberts, you know, I always say his name wrong. I haven't had him in my mind long enough yet, but the the middle linebacker we brought in from the Pittsburgh Steelers is a dog. Okay, Jeremy Chin is a dog. We found out last season for the first time, Polamalu is a dog. I mean, there are guys on this team now that you're stepping back and going, they're trying to play like old school 70s Raiders football. We're going out there to like scare some folks. Maybe knock a guy down here and there. And you know, honestly, I kind of hope this happens. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm saying I kind of hope this happens. I kind of hope Pete Carroll says to the guys, it's okay if you get a 15-yard penalty somewhere. Just make sure it doesn't hurt. In other words, do it in the first quarter on their second drive. Just light somebody up. I want to see Jeremy Chin just come from the deep safety position and just let somebody, I don't care who it is, tight end, running back, quarterback, wide receiver, don't care. I want Jeremy, test that Chin. Test that. Ooh. Did I just give Jeremy Chin his first nickname? Jeremy, test that Chin. I want him to test chins. Okay? That was a bad man. I want to see that man. I want to see him go to work. Excited. Steven! All right, let me get to moving. What's up, R8RBEAR? What's up with you, Steven? Oh, wow, great profile picture. Did you change that recently? That looks great. My God, Bear. Gene T Pro Day looked good. Daniel Hebenstrike! I love his name. Daniel, I got to tell you, not only did he look good on his pro day, I don't know if you've been watching, because I know you come in and out because of your schedule and who knows what else, but it's pretty much, I've been calling it now for a few weeks now. It's Genty. It's Genty. You know, we've all been talking about quarterbacks because all the focus at first seemed to be on quarterbacks and, you know, would it be Deion Sanders' kid and would we get a chance, excuse me, the hiccups all of a sudden, at Cam Ward, yada, yada, yada. But didn't happen. Did not happen. Speaking of what did not happen, I did not even show you guys what I was going to auction off tonight to the contributor of the most stars. I had something pretty cool I wanted to show you guys. I already have this suite. And by the way, the people that won stuff from me recently, not so recently, sorry, I'm bad about mail, but I always get it there. But I sent out your guys' stuff, and you will be seeing it shortly. Some of you already have. And so this is me now starting over again because I got everybody's stuff out, and now I just have this one other thing. So you guys got to see this. So you know I like to do car packages for you guys because I think they're really cool, and it gives you something different you can do because you could get this for your girlfriend or yourself or your wife or your cousin or whatever the case may be. It makes a good birthday gift, blah, 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 blah. But this, and I can't show it to you because it's black and it's brand new and I don't want to take it out of the wrapper for you. But this is that super cool keychain that has the leather strap on it and it has a tool that comes with it. So you can take it on and off and put different stuff on it and then you tighten it back up and then it's cool and it's just awesome. I have that. I have the all steel. Yeah, that's right. None of those cheap plastic things, okay? Not on my show. And I never get those ones that have the stupid white right here. I never get those. The Las Vegas Raiders, right? The new one. I love this, how they did the shield on the bottom on both sides. Okay, so the keychain and the license plate cover to the contributor of the most stars to this show tonight. So get into the giving of stars mood and get a shot at winning that awesome package. And you guys know anything from Raider Image is expensive. Everything I'm showing you right now is from Raider Image. So that's expensive stuff. So don't be afraid if you have to bid a little high, because it's going to be sweet. And check this out. You guys have to see this. You're going to love this. I don't see this too often. I've seen them, but I don't see it too often. These are the car caps for our Raiders. If I turn it sideways, I think you'll be able to see it because my camera's pretty good. Look at that. Isn't that dope? And don't let the size fool you. That sounded bad. I never say that to anyone. They're sharp, and you can see them every time you come to a stop. People will see them. They look dope. So the air caps, the keychain with the leather and the tool and everything, really cool, and the Las Vegas plate. All three items to the contributor of the most stars tonight. And I'm just telling you right now, Steve Shaw is taking names. I think he didn't get the last one, so I know he's probably going to want that one. What's the 411 on linebacker Devin White? We picked up Bob Standard, said we should have drafted him. Travis Kelly, he's right, and we actually did want to draft him, but I can't remember what the circumstances were that we didn't get him, but we just didn't get him. Now, he's been good everywhere he's gone. So when people ask me, is he going to work out? Is he dependable? Things like that. He's worked out everywhere. The Bears, the Bucks, he can play. Now, can he stay healthy? You know, that's a question now because he's older than he's ever been. Obviously, he'll be on his third. I'm not sure if it's 3 or 4 teams, but I know we would be either his third or his fourth team, and I don't mind that because I've always said it's the Raider way. We've done it since before some of us were born. Al Davis and the Raiders had a motto: if a guy's got something left and he proves it to us, in a drills, or we do a little practice and he looks good, and then the rest of the league is telling everyone that the guy's a bum, he can't play anymore. If he shows us he wants to be a Raider and we believe in him and we think he can give us something, then we give him a jersey. We put on that logo and we let him give that something to the rest of the league that gave up on him, and do it for the Raiders. That's right, I get goosebumps. I do. I don't care how long they've lost. I don't give a damn how long they've lost. They could lose for another 20 years. I'll still be going, Raiders! Hoo! 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 Everybody stop complaining about your dogs barking, okay? I don't care. You know my show. How many other people really salute their fans, too, live? I mean, come on. They just don't do that. So my trust level with free agency Arnie Garza is high. I'm very happy with what they've done so far. The Jeremy Chin move, huge. Getting Orlando Robertson from the Steelers on a 1-year deal that's around 10, 12 million. I mean, that's incredible. Had he stayed on the market a little longer, he probably would have got somewhere in the neighborhood of 14 to 16. That might not sound like a lot, but it's still about $2-3 million more he could have got. So for whatever reason, we showed him a package, he liked it, and he's a Raider. Personally, I know that every person we've added to the defense thus far, they're 3-4 defense guys. It's all guys we've brought in that have already played in this type of system. So once again, hats off to Patrick Graham, our defensive coordinator, working with Pete Carroll, and basically saying, we're going to shore this up. We're going to bring in the right people, but we're going to bring in the right people that understand what we're saying. They're coming in speaking this language already. We're not teaching them a new language. We're teaching them about proper etiquette within that language. Come here and play the Raider way, and then they're going to take that on the field and let some people have it. This is about as excited as I've been for the team in a while. It really is, because if you really know football and you look at what Pete Carroll's doing, the way he's prioritizing certain positions, Get the quarterback immediately. Get him more protection immediately. Get me guys on defense that aren't just big, but guys that I can mold. I'm a defensive back genius. I'm a safety genius. All you got to do is give me a backfield that's just some bar bouncers, some furniture movers, okay? And I'll teach them how to play the position better. And Jeremy Chinn's already really good. R8RBEAR! I told you I would get you excited. Be honest. We are damn near family, Joe. I like that. Appreciate you. Ramiro Cashflow Castro says, where do you sit in caps? Where do we sit in cap space? It seems we still have holes and need for depth. So good thing we have draft picks. That's true, Ramiro. Welcome to the show. Always there for R8RBEAR. I would say this to you though, brother. There are still moves that are gonna get made. Remember, I'm pretty confident I'll put a little piece of my reputation pie on the line, and I'll say Michael Mayer is gone. Okay, so when that contract comes off the books, that's a lot of money. You know, it is his rookie deal, but it was a decent rookie deal. I remember it, not fondly. So he's going to get paid a little bit. He's going to go somewhere else. They're going to pay for the rest of that contract, some percentage of it, and we've already replaced some of these guys beautifully. Since we kept Graham as our DC, do you think we'll stay with the 3-4 or go to the 4-3? Tim Newport, welcome to the show. I love the babies. I got to say, I think I already answered your question, but I'm going to say it anyway. Yes, we're staying in 3-4. I think there's really no chance we change to the 4-3. But what I try to tell people is that the conversation about 3-4, 4-3, which one will we run? It's almost irrelevant, because when you say, oh, we're going to run this, that doesn't mean it gets ran the whole game. There are many times where they are in that as a base defense. That's what they feel the most confident in running, but then they'll switch it, every second or third play if they see something they feel like that a bigger defensive package or a package with more defensive backs, could do something more with. Bob Stanton, I agree. Devin White will be good for us because he's veteran. That's what we need. We need guys in the middle that have their IQ right now. Chris Moffitt, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Nice profile pic. What up, R8RBEAR and family? Hope you and the family are doing well tonight. We're doing great. Appreciate you. Do we trade back a few spots and draft GT at running back? I don't really know. I gotta say, I'm always honest about that kind of stuff. The only thing I can tell you is I know they want GT. I don't know if they're going to be willing, though, to take a chance of losing him unless they do something like this. If they give up their number 6 pick to go to pick number 9, well, I mean, Ginty's probably going to still be there at that point. You know what I mean? If you just drop a handful of picks, he'll probably be there. Because what, I forget who was saying it, I think it was John the Lion, that said, and I quote, drafting running backs that high, bad thing. Most NFL teams will say bad thing because the bust potential for a high running back and then having to pay him a gazillion dollars. If he busts, it just hurts the team so bad. It can literally set you back in development of your offensive line, development of your offense in general, getting him off the team, and the cap space kill and dead money he's going to hit you with. It just goes on. And so we got to be careful. But I personally feel like we could break that rule with this guy. I do think that kid is the one. He's going to be great. I'm not saying Saquon Barkley or anything like that. I'm saying close, though. I feel like he has potential to be that kind of back. A back that looks like he could be the best in the league or one of the top 5. Joey Rivera, there's a lot of rumors going around about Hunter Renfrow trying to make a comeback. If he does, it won't be with us. It won't be with us. I mean, I could. It's possible. You know what I mean? Because of the attachment he may have to Mark Davis, but anyone else on the team, coaching-wise, they didn't have anything to do with Hunter Renfrow. The GM's different. The coach is different. Everything's different, so probably not. Bear, how many real starters did we really sign as free agents, or are they just depth and rotational pieces and practice squad players. Okay, now, as far as that second part, rotation pieces and practice squad players, as far as offense, that's true. We've mostly brought in guys that are, guys that we're going to give them a shot, see what they've got, But try to remember the tight end / former wide receiver, Darren Waller, okay, that we brought in from the Ravens. That was when John Gruden was here. He saw something special in the guy and his physique and thought the age of the tight end has been making its way back with Gronk and Travis Kelce, that kid Doku, whatever his name is. I said Goku on purpose, but Njoku, that's it, with the Cleveland Browns. So with that being said, no one saw that from Darren Waller. His own team didn't see it from him, the Ravens at the time. And when we made the move to bring him over, people yawned at it. It really made no news because no one understood what Gruden saw. He's a mismatch in every way. If you put him at tight end, linebackers can't run with him, and defensive backs aren't big enough to prevent him from catching the ball. He's a matchup nightmare. The problem is that no one could see that he's got no heart. He has no heart. He left a beautiful woman in the dumbest of ways. I never like it when a man has a really good thing and then just screws it up because of other girls. Look, guys, look at me. If you got a good woman, don't cheat on her. It's not cool. It's not tradition. I don't care if your dad did it or you did it all through high school and college. No. You have to understand, people think less of you when they find out you do things like that. They just do, They just do. And they think more of you when you don't. I've been married I've been married 24 years. It'll be 25 at the end of this year. We've never had any kind of problems like that. Not her with me or me with her, ever. So be like that. Steven! Just start this off. Steven, just leave no doubt. Just blow everyone away. You got to watch Jamie Walker and his wife Princetta though. They're money bags. They're kind of rolling. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Mwah. I love those guys. John the Lion said, trade Michael Mayer. Well, no, John, that's happening. There's no doubt about it. That's what I was saying earlier when I said I'd stake my rep on it. He's gone. That's why I said we're going to get cap space relief again, and we're going to get some stuff because Michael Mayer's resume is still there. The fact that he didn't pop for us shows it's up here because physically he had every tool, and when we did get a little bit of football out of him, it looked great. He made catches, stopped his feet, made guys miss, used a straight arm. I mean, he was nice, and he led the league in combat catches when he was in college. He's one of the most physical tight ends that we've ever had, and I don't know, I think maybe he's a cowardly lion or something. But I'm guessing with that. It just seems like the Raiders are off of him real fast. Brock Bowers will do that. It could just be Brock Bowers, literally, where they're like, look, we want to run a one tight end set. Whoever that other tight end is on a two tight end set, he's in there to block. We'll mix which side we have Brock Bowers in, and sometimes we'll motion him, things like that, so that they can't just go, oh, he's the only tight end that runs in a pattern. So it'll still be confusing, but we don't need an all-pro tight end on both sides, like they tried with Aaron Hernandez and, remember Gronkowski with the Pats, and they had that two tight end attack that people couldn't deal with. I really thought we were going to do something like that when we brought in Bowers and already had Michael Mayer, and my first expectation was like, wow, how do you stop that? I mean, they can run intermediate stuff, they can run deep stuff, they can block. I mean, I just thought we were going to destroy the league with that two tight end set. They were going to be like the Road Warriors. We're in tag wrestling. You see those two coming in to run routes, and DBs are going to be like, holy God, these guys are huge, strong, and they can run. But, yeah. Bob Standard, I don't think we're fully sure to go at Ginty only because there's so many running backs in this that they may see someone fall that's incredibly valuable as a defensive end or a defensive tackle. I've been basically singing the praises of the big defensive tackle from Michigan. I think that if he's there when we have the pick, it's him. Now, I also know, though, that there was an article about 3-4 weeks ago where very quietly a reporter said that he overheard Pete Carroll saying that, like this, I can do some things with that Ginty kid. I can do some things with that kid, okay? I'm telling you. He was saying that to someone, and some press guy overheard it. And he was basically frothing at the chops at the idea of getting Ginty. And then once I heard that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna put 10 toes down on that, because that sounds like Pete Carroll philosophy. He had Marshawn Lynch, Ricky Waters. He likes to have a dynamic running back. Doesn't have to be a star, but a dynamic running back. And then just so happens Marshawn Lynch was a star. He was a dynamic back, but he then became a star. Matt Marinovich, the extension to Geno Smith has not only already been done, but he restructured so that they could have cap space and do more things. And I think he was comfortable in doing that because, plain and simply, he knows that this is the first time he's really, really getting a chance to win this team and go. See, because remember, when he was drafted, he didn't have a great deal of success. He got punched by his own linebacker on his team. It ended his season because he broke his jaw. Then he comes back. He goes to another team. He's, all right, throwing a lot of balls all over the yard. Then he goes to Seattle, and with Seattle and Pete Carroll, he flourished. But people ignored it because they felt like that was Russell Wilson's team still, and he's just, operating the vehicle that used to be Russell Wilson. And we know what Russell Wilson can do. He's won a Super Bowl, should have won two. And so, that being said, they felt like Geno just was sort of clicked into an offense that was already so attuned that he could come in and be pretty darn good. The offense itself and the personnel around it was what was making Geno look so good, is what I think a lot of people felt like. But those things don't make his completion percentage go up and stay that way. Arnie Garza says, I agree. Get a third rounder for Michael Mayer. Yeah, to the Patriots. I like that. Seahawks, we're the Legion of Doom. We can be the Legion of Doom Bear. Oh, boom. Okay. Legion of Boom. I promise I'll stop beating this dead horse. And after the draft, if Pete Carroll is building another version of Doom and makes a hell of a lot of sense to do, what you have to move up in the draft to grab Carter. Joe, I don't know if he's going to do that. I just don't know if he's going to do that. I would ask you this, Joe. Would you go up for Carter if you felt like on a scale of 1 to 10? Okay, let's say Carter is an 8, okay, a 9, when he's on a good day. Just really good dynamic player. But I've got 7 other guys that are solid 7s, and sometimes 8, on certain plays. They step up and do a little more. If that's the case, like what we have at running back, there are scouts that believe that the first 7 to 8 running backs that are drafted could be stars. Literally 7 to 8 running backs. Wherever they're picked, they're going to go there, immediately become stars within a year or two. So that's pretty high praise for a running back class, when running backs and wide receivers and quarterbacks are the highest bust potential there are for positions in football. And you could argue which is which. For me, it's quarterback because it's just so much terminology and stuff you got to learn, and pressure, and you instantly are marketed by the team, leading the team, and so on and so forth. Sweet chin music. I like that, Matt. I like that. Vicky, get in. Hi, Vicky. Always there for Raider Bear. Legion of Boom 2.0. I'm feeling it, Bob. I'm with it. Putting chins on him. Tell it, Tanamoku. Oh, Vicky, I'm sorry. I didn't realize. You feel better, girl. Hey! All right. Oh, jeez. Allergies over here. I think Devin White has been with Tampa, Houston, and Philadelphia. Okay, yeah, I forgot about Houston, Tana. You're correct. I have the Oakland Raiders license plate, frame, and the Just Win baby on my truck there. Nice. Mark, bargain. Let me see what I got that here. Bow. Bing. No, let me see. Where's that at? Bow. Wow, 10 more seconds. And done right there. All right. Mr. Stannard. Steven! Shaw! Aw, and Mrs. Shaw. Hi, Mrs. Shaw! Aw, I love wives. I think all wives are adorable. I do. I think all wives are adorable. I read that. If we trade back, the Cowboys will pick Genty Bear. Mark, I kind of agree with that. In other words, I agree with that. But I would say to you, that's why I'm saying I don't have a problem with them picking him at 6. If he falls to 6 and they really want him, I could see them doing it. But if you tell me it's a choice between a dynamic running back or a dynamic defensive tackle, I'm probably going to go D-tackle. I hate to show my age here because, the younger guys, oh, get the running back. And then the older guys, you got to have a guy that can smash in the middle. But you do. It's still football. And even though football gets more innovative and they change rules and things like that and guys get bigger, stronger, faster, but it's still football, and the strategy of football is you have to have those guys down low in the middle that can play the run, at the very least slow it down if you don't stop it, and you got to get pressure on quarterbacks and get sacks if you can, or both, obviously. And so, Mark Vargas says Renfro had a visit today. I did not read that. Now, I would say this to you, Mark. Even though he's getting a visit, I think that's a precursory thing because he had a contract with us and he knows the team. I don't think that means anything. I don't think that means necessarily that he's going to be here. I think it's possible. But the one thing about Renfro, I like the edge he brings. But the problem is edge does not show up in stats. Does that make sense? His problem is his heart, his toughness, the things about him that we all love, because we saw it. He's got a dad bod, and yet he had one of the greatest special teams hits I've ever seen in my life. And I mean, and that's a statement. You guys know I don't say things lightly. I watch a lot of football. And I'm telling you, they tried to do a sneak punt play on us, and he saw it. I know you guys all know what I'm talking about. I'm just saying it for the one person here who might not know. But Hunter Renfro saw that they were going to run some sort of sneak play, and he immediately, and guys, I mean immediately. When you see guys do that, that's the same as the guy who sees the grenade land on the ground and goes to jump on it so he can cover the blast and hopefully save his family and friends around him and whoever else. He did that because the moment they started to run the trick play, he showed no hesitation, just did a beeline for the receiver who was about to catch the ball and get a first down. I mean, if he just turns and takes one step, it's the first down. And I'm just being straight with you. Hunter Renfro turned, put his shoulder, moved his head to the side, and drilled. And I mean that word gets used a lot. Drilled the guy so hard. He dropped the ball, and it was probably the most clean form tackle that was actually explosive. I mean, like Ray Lewis explosive I've ever seen. It was a violent hit, and yet every inch of it, even when you watch it on slow-mo, you're like, that's a form tackle. And yet he puts so much of himself into it, realizing the moment, and that if he just turns his shoulders, they get the ball and we look stupid. And he hit that guy so hard he had a baby. Just right there. Or his wife did in the stands. Just baby. Oh! Did I mention that I have the Raider caps? I mean, come on, be honest. You haven't seen too many cool caps. I got the keychain. All right, you know what? I'm even going to let you guys see it. Because I know that I can reseal this, so that's not a big deal. Because I want you guys to see it, because I think this is cool. And I got the middle license plate, all black on black. It won't disturb your car if you have a black car, and you don't want it to suddenly have stupid white, sidebars on the license plate, or It's chintzy looking. Okay, now this is telling me no. It's right toward the end of the show, so I wanted to take a moment and let you guys see that, because I think that's going to be pretty cool. Okay, there we go. Wow, that's sealed in there tight. Damn. They were making sure this got to the customer. There will be no theft here. Oh, see, I didn't want to do that. I just ripped it a little bit. It's just the thing that says it's from Raider Image. All right, I'm going to go ahead and give up now. I'm not. I won't. I'm kidding. Okay, the bag may look a little bad when you see it. It'll make you laugh, though, when you see it, because you'll remember this moment. Okay, here we go. God, dog. Okay, I got it. Okay, there we go. Look at that. Check that out. Leather strap. Okay, with the logo and it written out. And the logo again. I forgot about that. And then you see it's got this nifty little tool, and you can tighten it up, and it's got like a locking thingy-majiggy, and it's awesome. So the lock, that's exactly how they write it down, the locking thingamajiggy. So you go with the locking keychain thingamajiggy, right? So nice. The sweet Raider black on black plate. Oh, and where's my, okay, got it. And look at that. Come on, man. And Raider valve caps. This is dope. I'm going to do all three. I'm going to do all three. To the contributor of the most stars. Tonight. I keep the package right there so I can put that back in. Prince William and Princess Catherine say thank you. You're welcome, Tim. Let's see. Bowers is so good, he's making Meyer look bad, period. I think it's not necessarily bad. He's making him look expendable. You know what I mean? Because if you're going to mostly run your patterns and you're attacking through Bowers, which obviously you're going to, I mean, Bowers did something last year that's just not being talked about enough. I mean, he broke like 10 records. He set rookie records for tight ends and catches, yards, and all this stuff. I mean, he exploded. And that was year one. Now he's going to be in an offense with an offensive genius who's going to be able to move him all over the field and hit him all over the place. It's not your dad's Raiders. It's not your dad's Raiders. It's 2025, and they're about to come with it. It's going to be nice. Raider Devilian. We could have destroyed the league with a 2 tight end set if we actually had a quarterback last year. Well, yeah, and Raider Devilian, that's why I was kind of surprised that they went away from that so quickly. Because even the other tight end moves that they've made, for the most part, they don't look like they're meant to replace Michael Mayer to have that 2 offensive set. They look like they've been brought in to mostly block. But like the taller guy that we just got from the Panthers, he's got some catches. I mean, he went over 1,000 yards one year with the Panthers. So, that's nothing to slouch at tight end. So he's going to be mostly a blocker, but, every once in a while he can give that shove, pretend like he's going to block, and then split out in the flat, and Gino's going to hit him, because Gino's experienced enough now that he's not going to let people blast him. He's going to find those guys on slants and, quick go routes and short stuff, bubble screens, and he's going to hit those guys. I like Renfro. The way Big Dumbass used him in combination with Jimmy Goofball's suicide passes made him look bad. Joe, I can't argue with that. I would honestly say to you that it's not his football that has him out of football. You know what I mean? It's the stereotyping of small white guy with dad bod can't really be a good player. Get him out of here. You know what I mean? And they're not going to be willing to give him time because he doesn't have the kind of contract or clout or whatever else to, get him noticed. It's charged me to give an unbiased answer to your question. Not only do I have a little bias because I used to play defensive end in college and I know how valuable they can be, but as I said, Penn State fan, I've watched Carter a lot. I'm not saying he could be another Crosby, but damn. Joe, and again, I want to say this because I want us to be clear. I agree with you. I just don't think they'll do it. That's the only thing. If you're asking me that if it was up to you and I, what would we do? I would trade up and I would try to get Abdul Carter. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, there are those that would immediately, Joe, do something interesting. And they would say, well, Mr. Holman, well, Raider Bear, what about this cap space? And, well, what about if he gets hurt and you get Ricky, or you get, the kid we just got, and you have problems with him right away, or broken foot, and blah blah blah. You're gonna want that. With Wilson, I still say that the most impactful move is gonna be who helps Max be Max. We all saw Trey Hendrickson, the guy, the defensive end. He gets like double-digit sacks every year. He's with the Bengals. Contract was about to be up. He starts to hit the market, and then the Bengals immediately re-signed him. Now, remember, he's the same Trey Hendrickson that came from the Saints defense, and now you see the Saints defense has been falling apart because they're not getting the quarterback pressures that they were getting from Trey Hendrickson, both with the Saints and with the Bengals. So, see, I wanted that guy. My logic is with you. But I want a veteran. I don't want that from a kid. That's the only place where we disagree. I think Abdul Carter could be great. I think he's going to, probably be a star. But I don't want to bet on probably. I want to bet on, hey, look, that guy over there that plays for that team has done this for the last 3 seasons. He's a stud. Let's get him in here. You know what I mean? I'd rather do it that way. I want experience over youth. When we traded up in his draft, I had a feeling he was going to be the pick. Okay. Bear, what do you think about Membu offensive line from Missouri? Reyes Antonio, I'm not exactly sure who you're talking about. I apologize. The guy, Florida, 6'6", 436 pounds, defensive tackle. I don't know if I want him that big, you know what I mean? When they get that big, you're pretty much just getting an immovable object. Because when they get to that size, they can have speed against college guys, but not against NFL guys. Even the biggest of the big guys, like a Colton Miller, is going to be able to keep him out. Because Colton Miller's huge. He's 6'6" or whatever, but he's not 430. Come on, man. You're 400. He's a biscuit from 450. Because they also lie a lot about their measurables. A guy that's 6'5", they say he's 6'7", stuff like that. Yeah, Travis, I missed Third and Renfro too. He was a good kid, but I think it's over. Travis saw the hit I saw. Steven Shaw! Oh, get it, Steve. The defense wins. I'm just hoping someone challenges you, like right at the end when I start playing my music, Steven. Not that they'll win. I just, someone challenges you. Desmond Watson, 6'5", and 449 pounds. I mean, god dang, man. Mark Vargas. I mean, that's just so big. I don't know if maybe that's too big for defensive tackles. Offensive tackles, guards, I don't mind it as much because they just have to get out of their stance and keep a guy that's really fast and muscular off their quarterback for a few seconds. I just feel like the offensive lineman always has the advantage in that situation. Almost always has the advantage in that situation. Steven, one more time. Steven Shaw, one more again. Wait. There it is. My guy. Defense wins championships. That's pretty old school, Bob, but I still agree with that. Lots of experts think that Abdul Carter could possibly be better than Myles Garrett. Raider Devillion, again, just like my guy Joe, I'm telling you, I'm on board. I'm on board. But do you think they'll do it? See, that's what I would do back to you, both. I think that's where you'd agree with me. We're not in disagreement as far as the talent of the player and the effect he could have on the team. I think Abdul Carter can have a greater effect on the Raiders winning than anyone else that's coming out of that draft. See? That's a big statement, and I'm making it. But I don't think the Raiders will see that and really pull the trigger. And there's Raider Devillion right there, speaking truth to power. You know what I mean? Because it's just true. I mean, it's nothing against the team or anything like that, but that's one of those gigantic moves you make. You know what I mean? And they don't want to make a gigantic move because they're rebuilding something that's going to get out there and win right away. And that doesn't involve giving someone $300 gajillion after he's here for 4 years and we have to pay him. Mark Vargas says Darius Cooper, wide receiver, small college. Look him up there. Okay. We're done with free agents. Yeah, but there's still trades to be done, Troy, and so I'd like to see that get done. I don't know that it will, but I'd like to see that get done. Get some more bodies in, keep playing the odds, and hopefully get enough bodies in that we start winning. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. Oh, wow. There it is. All right, that's my show. Much love. Shout out to our armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, National Guard, Space Force. For all you do, the energy and love of this show is dedicated to your sacrifice, active and veteran. Much love. Travis Kelly said great show. Appreciate you, brother. Oh, nice. God bless, Travis. I'm glad to hear about your house. R8RBEAR! Like skinny black Godzilla. I announced my presence with sound and thunder, signifying hilarity and football. But mostly hilarity. Football hilarity. Swearskis. Alright, I love you guys. Steven Shaw, God bless. You're clearly the winner tonight. I'll get that off to you as soon as I can. Vicky again, much love. I'm glad you got your seat or your football mats. Those are so dope. I know they look great in your car. Much love. See you soon. R8RBEAR family page. Peace.